Hey guys, welcome back to Economics and Comics. There's been some controversy out there about the Image Comics 8 Billion Genies 8 print counts and print counts in general for exclusives, for standard covers, retailer incentives. For instance, my book, 8 Billion Genies number 8, the Michael McComb exclusive we did, is limited to 500 print, as far as I knew. I have some answers for you guys. I think this is an important video. We're all learning from this, whether we like it or not. You guys can discuss in the comments, but I wanted to let you know that I reached out personally to Image to figure out what is going on. Let me tell you a little bit about it. There was a video recently. I reached out to Brian McClay. Talked to him shortly about it just to check about my exclusive. Apparently at C2E2 there were exclusives that were on the tables of Ryan Brown and creators of 8 Billion Genies that aren't even in stores yet. I still don't have mine. And some of these books were limited prints to 333, 444, and so on. So everyone's freaking out, and I get it. I freaked out. So I messaged Image. My contact there, I'm going to keep his name out of it, but they were very open with me. So I'm going to read you the email, and we're going to talk about it. I have the exact information that we all want, okay? Because this happens to all of us, okay? This is affecting all retail stores, like myself. It's affecting all resellers on eBay and spec sellers and all that, and people that when they buy something they want to know that the print is correct. We'll get to my book as well at the end. I'll tell you what I'm going to do with my book, but we'll talk about the other books as well. So I emailed Image and I said, look, there's something going on right here. What is going on? Is this something in the contract? I didn't see anything like that. Are you guys able to print more than the print run? The whole 9 yards, because I was concerned. I want my print run to be accurate just like everyone else does, okay? And all the people I mentioned, stores, sellers, buyers, whatever, okay? So I'm going to kind of look off to the side and read this at the same time. Okay, they said, thanks for reaching out. So the question I asked was, again, do you print over our print numbers? What's going on? Is there something in the contract that we don't know about? Blah, 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 okay? He said, this is definitely not common practice, okay? However, the official Image policy is that the creative team of a book has the right to do whatever they like with their books. If they like to pay extra to have additionals copied, printed, they can do that. They own the book completely. What he means by the creative team is Charles Soule, Ryan Brown, the creative team. You're not the first person who pointed this out to me in regards to this book. But I guarantee that this particular book is the first time anything like this has ever happened. Now, let me tell you, my source is a really cool, good guy. Okay? Just getting that out of the way. I believe him. So he's saying, as far as he knows, for this book is the very first time it's ever happened. Now, to my knowledge, no creative team has ever opted to print additional copies of retailer exclusives to sell for themselves. And I don't think any will do it again. It just doesn't come up usually. So what he's saying is, from everything that he knows, no one's ever done that before. Maybe a couple times, whatever. But on this case, they did it on 8 Billion Genies 8. For whatever reason you want to speculate on, because it's a picked up show, it's the last issue, it's a big deal, whatever. Okay? This was a first and unique occurrence where creators, Charles Soule, Ryan Brown, all them, chose to have larger amounts of specifically the retailer variants produced. That's what we're having a problem with. The retailer variants, like myself, are seen at Comic-Cons. Retailer. Not the standard ABC covers. Retailer variants. So they paid the production costs associated with the additional copies. I don't know what that is. Plate fee, $500, and then per issue, okay? I'm not certain that they possessed a far-reaching understanding of the business model of exclusive selling retailers at that time. What he's saying is, he's not sure they, the owners of the book, Charleston, knew about the print runs and how it works. Look, they knew. They're in the comic industry. They knew we had exclusive print runs. Regardless, he's not sure, okay? And I don't believe that anything was done with malicious intent. I believe that. They just liked the covers and wanted to have them to sell along with their regular covers, okay? So he's talking about at Comic-Con, they had our exclusives there, and they paid more to get a bigger print on those exclusives. Now, we'll get to that in a minute. I want you to hear the whole thing. I'll give you my thoughts, and then you can say whatever you want. I get it, but I want to be 100% with you. So they bought more. I didn't know, and I doubt these other retailers knew either. Okay? They bought our books. Now, there is some stuff here that's very interesting, and this is about learning. Okay? Here we go. Standard comp copies. Now, this is a question and thing is what do they get for comps? For instance, on my book, I gave my comps to Michael McComb out of my personal. He's my artist, okay? It wasn't Ryan Brown or anyone that was involved with that book. I am giving him 20. So out of the 500, he's getting 20. I'm down to 480, okay? But standard comp copies, which is A, B, C, D covers, are produced and provided to creative teams for everything that is printed. Standard. With a limit of 200 units for the entire team, divided between all the variants, okay? So, if there's a 4-person team, writer, artist, colorist, letters, and only one variant cover B or whatever, each of those 4 guys get 50 each. Keep that in mind. So, if they request it, and there's a 4-person team that created that book, they can only get 200. So they have to divide it. So 50, 50, 50, 50. And if there are, say, 5 people on the team, like an editor and an inker, and there are 5 variants, they could get 8 copies of every cover. Okay, so what he's saying, let's just say there's a cover A. They get 200. And there's 4 people, okay? Each person gets 50. Now, if there's a cover with 5 variants, 5 divided by 200 is 40 each. Divided by 5 is 8. Each person gets 8 copies of each cover. Okay, so it doesn't matter, whatever it is, the number is 200. Okay, keep that in mind. The number that they can order over what we order is 200. All right? The more variants / people getting comps, the fewer copies of each they are able to get. Okay, but the number's 200. That's the standard process. So now we know what the standard process is. If these creators want their own books to sell at Comic-Con for whatever, okay? The creators of the book, the team, they can get 200 more. That's the answer we were first looking for. That's the standard process. Now, also, Image comic employees are eligible to receive 1 comic of every comic that Image prints. Now, what that means is, it doesn't matter what book Image prints, and there's 100 covers. Each Image person, if they want, that works at Image, now he does say in there, there's about 25 people that work at Image for this. So, if there was a cover A, each one of them would get 1 cover A. Okay? But they can get 1 cover B, they can get a retailer variant, they can get whatever they want, but they can only get 1, which I find acceptable, and I have heard of this at Midtown and stuff like that, like your Marvel print runs and stuff like that. The people at Midtown in the higher up offices and whatever, certain teams, they get comp covers. Okay? So, I believe that's on top of the print, even though some are numbered, right? It's really weird. But let's just put that out there. Image is able to get the Image employees, not the creators of the book, like the guy I'm talking to and staff members or whatever, are able to get one copy. So, say they did my 8 billion genies. I have 500 coming to me. And they said, we want one each. Now my print run is turned into 525. Okay? Got it. With low numbers like that, the integrity of the print run is hardly affected. I get that. 25. I get that. Someone at Image working there wants a copy of my book, go for it. There's only 25 of them. So there's usually not an issue with the standard comps. That is a standard comp. Okay? Standard. Now, for the economics and comics variant, because I was concerned, the Pool Boy, I Dream of Genie, there were 20 comp copies sent to the creators. 20. Okay? So my print run, let's just start, is at 500. Now, Ryan Soule, Charles, whoever they are, Charles Soule, Ryan Brown, they sent 20 to them on top of my print. So now we're at 520, okay? And about the same were sent to Image employees, because not everyone wanted one. So, my print run has went from 500 to 540. Okay? 540. No additional copies were printed. So, I'm going to get to another point. I hope you're paying attention here. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do for mine. And I am able to do that because I was careful in how I sold them. Because I held back books for damages. I sold a total of 425 copies. Pre-sold. I'm getting them next week. I had 75 for damages, right? So, hopefully everything's clean. 425 is going out to the people at the bottom. 20 are going to Pool Boy. So that's 445. Okay? 20 went to the owners of the book, and 20 went to the Image employees. So that's 40. Now I'm at 485. Okay? That leaves me 15. I'm going to keep 5. Why not? Fuck. Might as well keep 5. So that brings me to 15. So that means 10. So what I'm going to do is, if everything's good, I'll only have 10 left to sell. And I am going to destroy, this is me, since I sold 425, right? I sold 425. So 425. That leaves me 75, right? Now, Pool Boy, me, and the creators, I want to get past this really fast because I want to get to a very important thing. They took 20, 40, 60. I'm taking 5, 65. That's 490, right? So, I will have an additional 75 copies that aren't accounted for. I am going to keep 10. I'm going to keep mine for Pool Boy and me. Or basically what I'm going to do is, I'm going to keep 35 of those copies. 20 for Pool Boy, 5 for me, and 10 more for the store. The comps that they got, the 20 and 20, the 40, that they went over my print run, right, to get themselves, which I didn't know about, and that's just their practice. I'm going to destroy 40 copies of what I got so that it is still a 500 print run. Now, I'm able to do that because I know. Okay? But unfortunately, I'm losing out on 40 copies more at $25 each. That's $1,000. I just lost out on $1,000 to keep the print run intact of 500. Okay? Now, all that being said, I totally understand the frustration to retailers who depend on the limited print run of an exclusive to make it collectible. And I've asked to be notified in advance by our production department in the future if any creators would like to do something like this, so that I'll be able to share the accurate print run quantities with retailers so they don't lose the trust they've built with their customers. That is how cool this guy is. So he's explained exactly how it broke down, and from now on, he is going to find out exact numbers that people are requesting from the owners of the book that published. Charles Soule, Ryan Brown, whatever is the example. Now, I'm able to protect my print run, but now I want to talk about something else. The ones that we're seeing at Comic-Con, the ones that are limited to 333 or 444 or whatever. From this letter, it looks like they went 200 over the print run. Thank God on mine they didn't. I don't know why, but thank God. So, if you bought a book that's a print run of 333, and I'm not going to point out any specific one, whoever was the print run of 333, I think it was the one with like the professor dude on it or something. It's actually a print run of 533. It's not 333. Which is a big problem. Actually, excuse me. Let's add another 20 because probably 20 employees at Image got it. Right? So 553. So it's 220 more printed of that book. So you have a print run of 553, which is actually, funny enough, higher than my print run, even though I print and run it at 500. But these guys, they had to order 500, right? The store, and they destroyed, if they're truthful or whatever, and I'm sure they are, they destroyed 167 copies to make it a print run of 333 because they had to order 500. That's the minimum. So that sucks for you guys that bought those books, that spent that extra money. I'm even curious. I thought there was a print run of 88 somewhere. I don't remember what book that was, but I could imagine on a print run of 88, if they got their 200 comps and then Image got their 20, it went from 88 to 300, right? It's a problem. That's a problem. I'm able to adjust mine because I held back for damages and I know the print run numbers that they took. So I'll be able to be legitimately a 500 print run, and I'm going to lose, another problem, a potential $1,000 in sales. I will lose that. But I'd rather do that than be inaccurate with my print run. I'd rather destroy them. Hopefully most of them are damages, But what I suggest, and this is my thought, and this is really frustrating, is that, if anything, like for instance, my Speechless book, I do a print run at 300, right? The comp for the artist, since I'm the creator, I print their name on it. So I give them 5 copies with their name on it. I give them an exclusive metal with their name on it. Or other companies will do AP, where they'll print an AP on the book, artist proof. I think that if these owners of books are printing on top of our retailer editions or even standard issues, because it's not accurate, but retailers specifically, if they choose, Charles Soule, Ryan Brown, to order 200 copies more of a retailer that is an exclusive limited print, and they have to pay for the fees that cost to do that, right? The plate and all that, they might as well throw down an AP or something on the cover of the book in the corner specifically showing that it is a comp edition, because that is the only way to fix this problem. The only way. That's the only way. So I suggest that Image thinks about that if they're going to keep doing this. And like he said, this isn't very rare. And after this event that we're all hearing about, it's probably not going to happen anymore. But if it does happen, they need to put something on the cover, AP, artist proof, or something in the bottom, designating that this is a creator-owned copy. This is not part of the exclusive retailer store's limited print. That way we won't have this controversy anymore. Anyway, I hope you understood this. I wanted to bring you the correct information, as I always do over here. This is a concerning issue, and I do understand it. I've heard about this before with other companies. I didn't know exactly how much they were able to order or whatever, but I truly believe at this point, if they're going to do this, they need to add something that designates that it's a creator's copy of the exclusive. And I gotta be honest, maybe pay the retailers, just saying, the cost it costs to print that book. You know, if it's a $4 book and it costs $2 to print, and you order 200, maybe you should pay the retailer $400, because you are, even though you own the book, I get it, and you're allowing us to do exclusives for you. There's got to be something there, but definitely some sort of disclaimer on the book marking that it is a creator-owned comp, not part of the print. See? Or number all your books. 1 of 500, 2 of 500, 3 of 500, and then for the creators, you put AP or whatever. I don't know. That's my thoughts. Yeah, it's a tough one, guys. I don't know what to say. I'm frustrated that 40 books of mine were printed over for them. I get it. That's fine. I can fix my print run because I held back and keep it at 500. But there's a lot of people out there that cannot fix it. And their print run's almost double of what they said. That's not their fault. Don't be mad at the stores. Don't be mad at all. Just be informed. And hopefully this will fix itself because it happened. So I'll see you later. I hope you enjoyed this video. I did what I could. And we'll see you.